Hi, I'm Jaya,
And I'm Venk.
and this is the Reality Hate.
Episode 28. And we're going to be covering Real Housewives of New York and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, y'all. There's a lot of drama.
There is a lot of drama. Yes.
Shall we just saunter into this?
Let's do it. Let's start the recap of Real Housewives of New York.
Recap.
So I think one of the big things that happened on the Real Housewives of New York was Ebony was finally taking a test, a DNA test, to find out whether her supposed sister Ashley
Was her actual sister.
was her actual sister, and whether her dad was who she thought it was all along. And we find out that
it turns out she's 100% dead bitch. Just kidding. He is not the father.
He is not the father. And it was kind of sad because you could see that Ashley was hoping that they were sisters. I think Ebony was hoping that they had a match, and it didn't happen. It did not happen. But there's hope there, right? Maybe her dad is still alive.
Maybe it's better that they're not sisters and they're just friends. Sometimes you want to unmatch from your family. So
there you have it. But also, she is meeting with a geneticist who will hopefully help her figure out the missing piece to her puzzle. So we'll see, right? We learned that during the shoot, during the music video shoot.
Christmas Carol.
So one of the things we see at the beginning of the episode is Sonia meets up with Luann and Ramona, and she tells the ladies that after the birthday party, she hooked up with the model Dylan, and that it was an all-night romp fest, and that she could barely walk the next day because she had so much sex. And yeah, like, you know her, she knows how to bag them.
Why is this woman, it's sad actually. She has very low self-esteem. She's lying. She did not have sex. She passed out. The guy had a girlfriend. They probably tucked her in and she was like, that's the most intimacy I had. She confused that for sex.
Well, and also Ramona's little fling that we don't actually hear anything about because Ramona's hush hush about it, even though we see her saying, don't you have the address, my address, at the party with the downgrade with the like wannabe Scott Speedman. Nothing's ever said about that, but Ramona does say that he got a phone call from Dylan saying, Sonia's passed out at my hotel room. You have to come pick her up. And then there's an Instagram post with Dylan's girlfriend in the picture. And then Sonia tells a narrative. Basically, her story is that she did have sex with him and the girlfriend was in the bathroom, and then the girlfriend came out of the bathroom.
You know what? First of all, then it wasn't an all-night romper. It was
not romp fest. Yes.
And also, so many narratives. It reminds me of the time that Carolyn and Bethany were on the show. Because the new narrative. I'm like, Bethany, shut up.
Bethany's my least favorite. I liked Bethany in the beginning.
We all liked Bethany at the
beginning. Then she just awful.
Really square jawline, and I was like, that's a down chick. And then she lost the jawline. She gained an attitude.
She sure did. I reluctantly follow her on Instagram. And it's like every time she posts something, I'm like, ugh. Anywho, we also meet Leah's brother, Danny. I didn't know she had a brother, and we meet him. He's 9 years younger. We also see the sister who I think Leah would like to have on the show. Hatch model. Clothing line Hatch. She's one of the Hatch models. And then we also see Sonia have a meeting with Alita St. James for a sesh about her dad. We see a healing session. We see that. Hey, you know, I'm into that stuff. I'm into crystals.
I don't. I once went to this fancy schmancy like Reiki place, and the actress Shannon Sossaman would go like twice. I was there to get, it was really expensive. But she was there doing something else. So it was that kind of place. I don't know if you remember who Shannon Sossaman is.
No, I'm like, who?
She was an actor. I don't know what she does now. She wasn't bad. Anyway, it doesn't.
On what? An actor on what?
Oh, okay. The movie with Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet where they switch, The Holiday.
Oh.
You remember the girlfriend of not Zach Galifianakis, who's the brown-haired guy, the guy that Kate Winslet falls in love with?
Uh-huh.
Who's that actor?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen The Holiday.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, the point is, anyway, I was name dropping, and also I went to a fancy Reiki. They don't do anything. It's all bullshit.
I've had Reiki at works.
I don't believe you.
Well, it's the truth. I have had it done.
When they were doing Reiki on you, did they use a vibrator and did they actually put it on
you? Is that the kind of Reiki you had?
I mean, that's the kind of Reiki I'd pay $100 a pop for.
So anyway, so we see the healing session. The other thing we see is Sonia meeting with her business partners.
I'm that Indian guy.
Oh my gosh, that
why do you have to do the why?
I know, but at the same time, I'm also like, I think he has his head on straight, and I think Sonia doesn't. And then Ramona comes in hot, and it's like, I don't even think she knows everything that's going on, and she's just demanding, you know, there's money there, this, that, and the other, but like, he has paid her. We find out that, in fact, she has been receiving checks from the company, and she's not cashed the checks. $10,000.
You know what? If I had a $10,000 check, I would cash it. And you know, that could pay for her unpaid interns.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway.
Anywho. So we find that out, and they're asking to see the monthly journals, which I do feel like Sonia should probably see the books. I mean, I don't understand why she hasn't. If it is in fact her business, she should see the books.
It's important to see the books. Erica should have asked to see the books.
Erica should have asked to see the books. We'll get into that. Yeah. I don't think that I don't know that I believe that she did not see the books. So yeah, I mean, like, I thought it was an important conversation, but like bringing Ramona into it was just awful. I can't stand Ramona. And so having her there, it was like, it turned into chaos.
Also, like, Ramona tried to be, although I cannot stand Bethany.
She tried to be Bethany. She sure did. And she failed it because she's not that smart.
Like, Ramona, none of us believe you're good at business or thinking or being a good person. So
except for Sonia, because Sonia brought her.
No, Sonia's not
as her business expert.
Bethany wasn't available.
That's right.
They should have brought Heather Thompson.
Oh yeah, Heather Thompson. Yummy. Yummy. You know, I bought a pair of Yummy once. The Yummy, like.
Yeah. Were they good?
No, they're the worst. It's like wearing regular underwear, like nothing. It didn't hide, suck in, anything.
Nothing works as good as what's it called?
Spanx.
Those are the
best. The best.
They make man Spanx, and trust me.
Have you used them?
Yeah, I did a couple like a decade ago.
When you were like 10 and you were feeling like that. Yeah, small husky child. Yeah.
When I was doing that movie, and they had such bad financial problems that like it was filmed over this course of 2 years. So of course, like me, like I was skinny and then I gained weight and then I was like not as skinny as I was, and they had like people get me man spanks, and it was these 4 Indian people, like I'm Indian. It was 4 of my people, and I was in my trailer, and they were putting it on me, and like they got it on. It was like, but it actually sucked me in, but it didn't make my face look any skinnier. You literally watch this movie, and it's like skinny, fat, skinny, 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 fat, 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 skinny. But don't worry, nobody's paying attention to my body because they're too busy paying attention to my bad acting.
Maybe we can invent face skinny Spanx.
No, it's just about
I know, I'm just kidding. It's all the contouring. Contour. I've never done that. Never.
That's got to be in one of our writers, you know?
Right. Contouring, lots of contouring. We should maybe try it for an episode.
We should do a contouring tutorial where we watch a video together.
So then, okay, let's get through it because really nothing happens. Okay,
Yeah.
Nothing happens on this episode of New York. We get to the most important part of the episode, Luann's music video. It was lovely. We watched, this is her second music video after Viva La Diva. And
3rd music video.
She said on the episode it was her second after Viva La Diva.
There was the class about class, and then there's Viva La Diva, and then there's this one.
She said it's my second. Maybe she didn't make a video for class.
No?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just
for Viva La Diva.
Can I tell you something? Sometimes when Luann struts, in my head I hear horses galloping.
I mean 100%.
Okay, thanks.
I see horses galloping. She wants a Christmas album, which kills me. Can't wait for this one to come out because it's coming out for Christmas 2021.
We're buying a copy. Can I just side note? I saw some old pictures of Luann when she was young modeling. Stunning.
There's a picture of her when she was young modeling behind her in her confessional. Have you not noticed?
No, I'm too busy listening to her go on and on about absolutely nothing.
And hearing horses. Horse galloping.
Horses.
So, everybody's wearing Giovanni, of course. Did you see that would kill me?
Dresses, the glamour, the glitz.
The glamour, the glitz, the caviar. That was the other thing we learned. Is Sonia left the caviar in the hotel and then lied and said she enjoyed it.
I would have put my face in that caviar. That looked delicious.
Me too.
You like caviar?
Yeah, maybe we should do it for an episode.
Do caviar?
Yeah.
I would do caviar.
Me too.
I love it.
So anyway, basically it did seem like the director and some of the producer, like the camera guy and the director, they seemed like they were irritated a bit. And I think Ramona maybe really bothered the director because she was also trying to direct it herself. It was so rude.
I'm on an important phone call.
Oh my God. Or just yapping about the way she thought it should be shot or the things that should happen. Yes, she took an important phone call and made everybody wait, which I thought was so obnoxious. And they basically discussed why Sonia lied. They can't seem to figure out why she lied. But she did, because she's Sonia. And I think she feels like she has to do that because these women, she feels that way because of these women.
I think, yeah, I agree. She's insecure.
Yeah.
With the way Ramona, like if I was around Ramona and Luann and they were like, these women go through men like Cookie Monsters go through Cookie.
Exactly.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So anyway, that's the end of it. Can't wait to see the fucking music video. Like, Yes, give it to me.
Carols jingling. Everybody dies.
That's
I like
right.
my Christmas miracles. Bye. Christmas.
So anyway, that's the end. We're done.
Moving on to Beverly Hills.
Man, oh man, lots happens here. We were very interested. Basically, it's all about Erica.
God, it's
And
always
we see a lot. We see through the cracks, we see some things where I don't know whether she's telling the truth or not. Like, I think she's not.
No,
So we
it's scary.
basically wake on the women in La Quinta discussing the night before with Erica. And they find out that Tom Girardi is being hospitalized or was hospitalized for a serious illness, but nobody knows, not even Erica, what, who, why, when, who, what, where, when, why, how. And I think it was probably a PR stunt,
Just like the recent black eye.
Right.
Complete bullshit.
Right. And I thought the funny moment was when Kathy called Kyle and was like, bring me chia. Kyle, can you bring me chia seeds and a straw?
I love it.
I do too. She's so funny. And I feel like everybody is still, for the most part, at the top of the episode on Erica's side, and believes that she worked really hard to protect the relationship. And now Tom's thrown her out and isn't protecting her at all. We find out that Tom Girardi has a house, or had
in
a house
in Palm Springs.
in La Quinta near Kyle, in the same development.
And possibly near your relatives.
And possibly near my relatives. Yes.
Can I tell you something really interesting? You know that La Quinta Hotel that's also used on a 2-episode arc in the Hills reboot this last 2 weeks.
And I wonder if it was used in The Bachelor as well, or The Bachelorette.
The blank page before you.
Open up the dirty window. When I first visited LA, the person that I was driving in the car with would play that song a lot.
Who was the person you were driving the car with?
Our friend Pravesh. I remember, because I always think of him when driving with him to auditions. So anyway, so then we find out that Garcelle we knew this. Garcelle's not staying at the house because she doesn't feel comfortable, but there's a few women not staying at the house. And those women just had COVID, so I probably wouldn't want to stay there either. So they're all staying at the La Quinta Hotel. What I found was so interesting, or the La Quinta Inn. What I found was so interesting was that Erica had the biggest room.
Well, she's going through a lot.
She has no money.
Oh, she doesn't? Probably pays in cash because it's under her bed. In
right.
$1,000 apartment.
Right. It's hidden under her
weave. Her weave. It's hidden under her weave.
It's sewn under her free people clothing that she's like, you can have this. You can have this.
You can have that. Don't take the Gucci. And I will wear free people.
That's right. All the time.
It was she'll wear clothes made by little children or prisoners, but she won't actually wear the real wealthy stuff, the expensive stuff that were made by people who are paid a fair wage.
Right.
I mean, Erica, even when you're trying to fake it the right way, you're doing it the wrong way.
Wait, I love free people.
Yeah, but it's still made by prisoners and slave labor. Have a nice day with that.
Great, thanks. Not wearing free people. I'm wearing Gorman.
Right now you're wearing
Gorman.
You're a Gorman girl.
So anyway, the women discuss. Well, first of all, Garcelle showed up in a hazmat suit. That was funny.
It was she was paying homage to Naomi Campbell.
Yes. So anywho, the women continue to discuss Erica, and they're all kind of thrown by everything that Erica has said. And one thing I thought was interesting was Garcelle was thrown off because she found out from the girls from the discussion that they had the night before that Erica had said, Tom was cheating on me and I knew it, yada, yada, yada. But previously, she had a conversation with Garcelle where she said she never thought Tom would cheat on her ever and did not have a girlfriend, never cheated on her. So, of course, there's the crack in the story.
Boom.
And we learn, you know, the ladies go to Erica's giant suite for dinner because she has the largest room with the least amount of money. And we find out that Erica doesn't know how to make a deposit or use a debit card. And she was in the bank for the first time in March, which like totally confused me because what did you do before you were with Tom Girardi?
She had a lot of singles. She'd go to the bank with singles. That's what
I mean, but she said it was her first time in a bank.
She's I cannot say. Okay, yeah. She's just an idiot. She's been in a bank. She was everybody I know.
Lies. That's all it is.
Exotic dancers have to deposit their money somewhere.
Then we find out that Kyle Googled the address for the Girardis and found that it was sold because she had this. And I found that whole thing so weird. You know, the fact that Tom Girardi had this house that Erica had never been to.
She had been to.
Oh, she had?
No, in my opinion, she had been to.
You think she was lying? More lies.
More lies.
And then she was shocked that it was sold. She had no idea. She knew. I think so too. Yeah, you're right. And then I think when the women are like, Erica, you should have someone do forensic accounting. He was like shocked, like, yeah, there's nothing to account for.
No. I mean, she'll be like, don't say that on television. Did you know that Bravo has agreed to give all the footage to the feds?
I didn't, but now I do.
All the raw footage will be going to
good
people.
Good. Do you think she approved it though? I'm curious.
She can't approve anything.
I don't know. You never know.
The government asked for it, and Bravo willingly said yes.
I mean, they had to.
They're not going to want to look bad. They'll throw her under the bus. It's more drama for them. They'll keep her on the show. They'll wait for her.
They'd love for her to go to jail.
Yeah, and then she'll come out and she'll have a rags to riches story.
Exactly. Just like other Real Housewives. So anyway, then Crystal, Erica, and Garcelle go on a hike.
Yep.
And that's where we learn about Tom still calling.
Yep.
We also learn that, you know, she supposedly never looked at the books, never had, never saw anything, used cash and credit cards, and she knew nothing.
Lies, allegedly, in my
opinion. Right.
And
that he was never the same after a terrible head injury.
Yeah, and explaining that was like I was like, wait, am I stoned and drunk and stoned all at the same time?
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
None of it made sense. So they all go back.
Right.
And they all sit around each other. And this is what, can I just air this out for a sec? This is what pisses me off. So Garcelle's there and she's like, I'll say what Erica had told me. And she's like, Tom's been calling her. First of all, problem, Erica's like, she's like, is it okay if I say it? She's like, no. And I'm like, so Erica bites her head off, but there are cameras everywhere. It's so like, what was that? We know that there are cameras watching you. It's reality TV. It's not like Big Brother.
I know. I had the exact same reaction of like, you just told her on camera.
And then Dorit comes in acting like an idiot. I'm like, shut up, Dorit. Put some more hair berets in your head and shut up.
But I mean, that was the part that didn't make sense. And then she disappeared and was sobbing in the bathroom. And I was kind of like, well, why did you tell her on camera?
And
we were going to see it anyway.
And this is the time that I'm like, okay, so I think I like Sutton again. Like, I mean, I never just like Sutton. I think she was a big baby. But Sutton's like, okay. Sutton's like, I'm not buying any of this bullshit.
I think Sutton's right. And we find out next week that Sutton kind of has the feeling of like, I don't know that I want to be around her when she's going through all of this. It's making me uncomfortable and she's in big trouble. And
That-
she's right.
that preview was dope. So that's where it ends off. That preview was pretty, the preview for the next episode is pretty amazing. This was kind of another filler. I think both of these episodes were pretty filler.
I thought that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was really entertaining and I enjoyed it and it gave me everything I wanted. And I'm actually very pleased with it. It started out, I was irritated because I already knew the story, but I'm loving it.
Well, you know what? I kind
New
of
York, meh.
Yeah, New York. I'm kind of with Beverly Hills. I want to see infighting that we're not going to find out about on like publicly, and so the things leading up to say, you know, the IG post where they're dancing like on what is it, Kyle's IG, where they're all on the yacht, but Garcelle's not there. Like, I want to know what happens in the friend group. I don't want to know what we're seeing in the news. So I think next week's going to be satisfying.
I just want to say, like, yes, I understand that. But what I'm finding interesting is watching, we already know everything, but we're watching her sort of crack. Like, she can't keep up the lies, right? So everybody's getting a different story. And I'm finding that very interesting.
The gaslighting. It's the gaslighting for you.
Yes. Yes.
Now, without further ado,
yes.
Shall we get to taglines? Taglines. I guess I made up one off the cuff. We kind of, Jay and I kind of talked about some stuff. And so, you know.
Because we didn't have a tagline this week, Sean Parikh. We didn't have a tagline.
Yes, Sean Parikh. We even tried to call you on your cellular telephone, your mobile. Did not answer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to do one off the fly. Like Sonia Morgan, I'm sex positive, but gentlemen call her negative. So if you want to change that, why don't you email us your taglines at realityhatef@gmail.com. That's realityhatef@gmail.com. And also, please make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Like that button and smash that subscribe.
Smash! 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 Smash!
Please.
Come on, that should have been at the beginning, but it's at the end. Do it anyway.
Yeah, we're doing it all times.
Doing it all the time. Anyway, I'm Venk.
I'm Jaya. Bye.
Hey.
Send us your taglines.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, start.
Blackwater. We like it.
So good.
Quenches that thirst.
So good.